Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Melissa. So it's another day, another binge watching, and I wanted to talk about Black Mirror. So here's my quick background on Black Mirror. I have watched a couple of episodes from past seasons, never an avid watcher to the point where I had to watch every single episode from every single season, but I know that they are back now after a 4 or 5 year hiatus, and it's going to be 4 new episodes, and I am intrigued. I'm interested, so we're gonna dive in. Joan is awful. So if you're new here to my channel and new to my binge watch series, I really like to have a very laid back and forth with me and you guys, like we're watching the show together over FaceTime. That kind of sounds like a plot for Black Mirror, sort of. But yeah, I like to just keep it really cool and casual. So Joan is awful, I think, was very entertaining, and I think it is very much layered. It's a very layered episode. I think there are some commentaries on there about signing terms and conditions, obviously, without really knowing what you're really signing, and just giving people access to you and giving streaming services access to the things that interest you and whatnot. And I also think, obviously, this speaks to the celebrity culture as well, when their likeness could be used in wherever place that they don't even know, and they may not be very educated upon it, because that's why they hire, their managers and their agents and their lawyers, so that those people, their team that they pay a lot of money for, who are the ones who take care of that information. I'm not really drawn to TV or movie that are about a show within a show within a show, and this took it to another level. This was Inception times 11, sorts of. I think Christopher Nolan will probably love this episode. I actually enjoyed the structure for this, and I did not call that the Anne Murphy that we see, who has the rogue streaks in her hair, was actually not the original. I thought that was a fun twist. And I thought having the source Joan be the person who is the original person who complained about not being the main character, not being satisfied in her love life or her job. And then what so happens is, when she is the star of her own show, it's without her consent. She didn't even know. So I think this episode also speaks to the whole adage, be careful what you wish for. I also feel like, in a way, this episode was a way that Netflix is kind of throwing itself under the bus. It's just not really saying the best things about the amount of content that they put out and the quality or the quantity of content they put out. I really like that scene where the head of Streamberry speaks to, well, why did they choose such negative content to put out? Why would you put people's worst attributes on display? And she said that there was testing done and they had tried putting more positive content, but it wouldn't do as well. And it's the negative content that would test better. And I think that is so true. I mean, how many times have you driven by a car wreck, something that is so horrible and tragic, but you keep driving, but your neck is breaking because you can't stop watching the horrible accident that happened. We're just drawn to the bad things. And look at the popularity of true crime shows. I feel like there's one coming out every other day, because there's just something that we're drawn to, just like the ugliness and the dark side of human beings. We know quite a few of those true crime shows have even had controversies when it comes to the victims' families that are against those things. It really kind of makes you question about, where is the line in entertainment? Lock Henry. Wow. So how many of you thought that the mom was writing down "forgive me," but instead this bitch wrote "for your film"? Psycho. She regrets nothing. So, okay, I mean, obviously this is a spoiler-filled video. This was a journey. This kind of leans into what I was talking about for the first episode, in this whole idea of exploiting these people's lives, these victims and the people who were related to those victims. On one hand, that content is created because it's informational, and we can certainly learn things from the past, even if it's like dark and horrible and gritty. But as human nature, we are humans, and Netflix is Netflix. What happens when that content is morphed into something like a mini series, and then it's just turns into an exploitation venture? Like, where is that line, and what makes something okay to make? Where is it that we draw that line exactly? When is it okay to say, no, we shouldn't make this? And when is it okay to say, no, actually, this needs to be heard by the world? I think this is another one where I didn't call the twist there. I did not think that she was a serial killer who was into the sex games with her husband. I do feel, I mean, I'm the type of viewer that's oftentimes unsatisfied with things that are not resolved. So I kept thinking that we were gonna know what happened to the girlfriend. I mean, I feel like her death was so whack. Like she slips, hits her head, and then we just never see or hear about what happened to her. Her body doesn't wash up somewhere. I think instead of writing "Forgive Me," she wrote "For Your Film" because number one, she's found out and she doesn't want to go through a trial. She has no regrets. She said "For Your Film." And historically, there have been serial killers in the past who will reach out to the FBI themselves because they want their work to be known and to be seen. So I kind of feel like she was spooked about being caught. She wasn't regretful, but she also wanted her past crimes to be seen and to be televised. I think so far this has been the creepiest episode. Beyond the Sea. Always great to see Rory Culkin coming in and playing a creeper just like he did in Scream 4, like, what, over 10 years ago. He still looks the same. So this one was an okay episode. It didn't turn out the way that I thought that it would. So I thought because we see Josh Hartnett's character lose everything that matters to him, which is his wife and his children. And I think because since we start seeing him going to visit Earth through his partner's body, I could see obviously he was gonna feel closer to the wife and the kid. And I thought we were gonna see him starting to want that life for himself. So I thought on one hand, he was gonna just stay down on Earth in Aaron Paul's body and just never tell the wife the truth, or that was also going to happen, but he was also going to kill Aaron Paul up there in space and just like, be a murderer and a family stealer. Neither happens. I didn't predict this outcome only because I feel like, did he not have deeper feelings to the point where he wouldn't kill Aaron Paul's wife? Also, now that you've murdered his family, you have to stay up there in space with him. What is preventing Aaron Paul from also murdering Josh Hartnett? I know they've mentioned that it takes two people for this mission or it can't happen, but still, like, Beyond the Sea needs a part 2. I think the quality now is just going down. I did not love Maisie Day, mostly because it did not really feel like a Black Mirror episode, and I'm not certain as to what we're supposed to get from it. So I can see how we can have this allegory about how the paparazzi feel like these vultures or vampires who take and can kind of like make you become this other type of person or being or a monster in this instance, because spoiler alert, she's a werewolf. But I feel like they kind of gaslighted me a little bit. I mean, we know she has a hit and run and she leaves this man or being out and we think it's dead, or is it not dead? I'm not really sure. I just have questions about that. I don't get, if she discovered a werewolf, how did they discover a dead man the next day? Can somebody explain that to me down below in the comments? But they have this whole plot line where she is, I guess, tortured and horrified by what happened in the hit and run because she accidentally killed someone. So we think she's hiding this really big secret of killing someone, but it turns out she is hiding this really big secret about her becoming a werewolf. Okay, but here's my problem. The thing with the hit and run happens because she's already kind of like spinning out and going through her own traumas. She's not driven out into the rain and hitting someone by the paparazzi. I feel like if that were to happen that way, this would have made a little bit more sense to me, because if she's not driven by the paparazzi when she did the hit and run, I don't understand why the reveal of her being a werewolf has any impact on the story. To me, it felt too random. In hindsight, I feel like I should have seen that coming because we're hearing that Muse song from Twilight during the entire episode. So again, not an episode that I love. They decided for some reason to make the last 2 episodes more supernatural heavy, and I feel like As you can tell in my video probably, the longer that I watch is just the quality for me just went down. My favorites, I could say without a doubt, are the first 2 episodes of this season. I think they definitely felt more Black Mirror-y because I like to see what people are saying. I like to read the comments and the reviews. I know people have felt very similarly. If you guys enjoyed the last 2 episodes, please comment below and let me know why. I would love to hear your opinions on why this did it for you. Now, Black Mirror is known for doing things just a little bit differently, and I think with this one, there's no exception to that because we got to see what happens when you have a mission. And it is, of course, to save the world. And what happens when you don't complete that mission and you don't end up saving the world. This one had a bit more of a bittersweet, odd ending because they failed their mission. So that means the demon now has to go into oblivion because he failed. But she gets to go with him. So it's kind of like misery loves company. They get to go to hell together, if that what oblivion is. They don't even really explain it, I don't think. Well, that is all the binge watching for me today. I wonder if we have to wait another 4 or 5 years for the next Black Mirror. I may go back and watch a couple of episodes from past seasons because, as I told you guys, I haven't been an avid watcher as in watching every single episode from every single season, but I am curious. There have been little nuggets here and there. If you guys like this video, you like this content, and you want to grow the community, please hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That really helps me to grow and it lets YouTube know to elevate this video so that way we can gather up all of the nerds and grow this fandom together. Thank you guys so much. Hit subscribe and I'll catch you guys next time.